gonna have some fun with this one here.
Woo-hoo!
In the morning, when I wake up, all I want is Mary Joanna. In the evening, when I'm thinking, all I want is Mary Joanna. If you look in my eyes, you will see what I've done. Every minute, every hour of every day. But life is like a smoke. In the end, I'm gonna choke. So all I do is live my life from day to day.
Oh my God, you know you better watch yourself because I know you're waiting on that one. Cause I'm telling you, concern, cause you know the one that take off forever. You let me see you do that run. Run, the one that they cleanse, the one that done. Cause I know you cannot be me now, what you wanna do. Cause I'm about to break it down, me, cause you know you cannot fade me now, let you wanna. You better back it down now, because I'm telling you, what bar, bun bar, can I wonder. Because you know you like the way you put that pick up. Cause I'm telling all you fools what happened, and in a mercy. Now what you wanna do, and in a mercy. Now what you wanna do, and in a mercy. Now what you wanna do, and in a mercy.
If you look in my eyes, you'll see what I've done. Every minute, every hour of every day. But life is like a smoke. In the end, I'm gonna choke. So all I do is live my life from day to day. You got to lick it, stick it, bend it, crease it, stack it, burn it, pack it, roll it, poke it, roach it, smoke it, then you pass it to me. You got to lick it, stick it, bend it, crease it, stack it, burn it, pack it, roll it, poke it, roach it, smoke it, then you pass it to me.
Come on, baby girl, let's get it going on. I'ma hit the highway and do it my way. It ain't no game, girl, so I don't play games. I keep it up straight, right up in your face. So make your mind up, cause life is too short. I got the vest on, boy, put your belt on. Stop acting all cool like Kanye West, boy. You be riding through the wire and the camera get on fire. You don't want that, no, I don't want that, no. This goes out to pimps and chicks, so slow. Hit the backseat when you're doing the licking, kissing, squeezing. Do the damn thing, man.
You got to lick it, stick it, bend it, crease it, stack it, burn it, pack it, roll it, poke it, roach it, smoke it, pass it to me. You got to lick it, stick it, bend it, crease it, stack it, burn it, pack it, roll it, poke it, roach it, smoke it, pass it to me. You got to lick it, stick it, bend it, crease it, stack it, burn it. All I want is roach and smoke, marijuana to me. In the evening, stick it, bend it, crease it, stack it, burn it, pack it, roll it, poke it, roach and smoke, marijuana to me.
Oh shit, it's finished. And I ain't even got this thing off. Hang on. Fucking hell. There we go. Good evening. Evening. Hello there, everybody. It's me. Welcome to Raconteurs News on Tuesday, the 21st of February. That is 2023, which is what we are in at the moment. Sorry about my voice. Not very good at the moment. I'm a bit knackery, a bit knackery. I'm sorry about last week, but you know, on Wednesday last week, I had something to eat, and I don't know whether it was because I caught something preparing the food or something, because it didn't have to anybody else who had any of the food. But I woke up on Wednesday middle of the night and I was just fucking my stomach. I ended up getting up, being sick. I would have crapped, but I didn't have no crap. We're fish livers, I don't think. Although I have been having cod liver oil recently. Yeah, so I were up until my wife got up for work next morning, and I decided I was just so fucking tired and everything, and I just thought I've got to go to sleep no matter what. So I took a couple of the only mild sedatives that we've got that I have for phantom pain when I'm sleeping. To help me sleep with phantom pain when I have phantom pain. And so I took them at sort of like 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock on Wednesday morning, and then went to bed and didn't get up until 10:30 that evening. So, you know, it were I've been terrible, honestly. I've not been able to eat out. I've had no, as you can probably tell, I'm not exactly full of beans at the moment, but I've had no energy at all whatsoever. And anyway, I'm feeling a bit better today, and Jimmy's going to be around in a bit, I hope. Can you check on the mic? Let's have a look. I'm sure I did this before. Fuck knows what. Microphone should be all right. It's this one. Yeah, that's it. Microphone's okay. It's so it seems to be okay. It's just probably my voice. Yeah, so I'm on right mic anyway. So thanks for that. Cheers, Robert, and cheers for doing the hour show beforehand as well. So there's an hour for you, somewhere for you to go before Raconteurs news. Whenever Robert decides to do it, then you know there'll be something else there as well. Too much screeching, really? I've got my mic on too loud or something. Too much screeching. I don't even know how to adjust this. Am I screeching, really? Someone tell me, for fuck's sake. Oh, it sounds fine there. Spanish chickens put me straight. Sounds fine there. If it's all right for Spanish, it's okay for me. Cheers, Spanish. Thanks, everybody, anyway. I hope you're... it is. It's my voice. So anyway, good. Thank you to everybody. Hello to everyone who's in chat room and everyone who's not, who's listening in the background. So I've had a shame. I usually feel a bit cleaner than that, but I've not had a bath. I've had a shower today. It's the first time I've had one since I've been ill. I just can't. When I'm ill, I just can't do anything. So yeah. Anyway, good evening to everyone who's in the chat room. JJ's in there. Spanish Chicken. Nin. Good evening, Nin. Hello to you. Mascara Snake. Kitty 21. Paula. Good evening, Paula. Thank you again to your grandson for that excellent video. If Jimmy gets along here, I'll try and find it. I'm really struggling with this actually. I'm hoping Jimmy gets here pretty quickly. Because I know Lubick. It's just like anyway. Paula as well. Mick Ramo, Dr. Robert, not a doctor, as he says in things. Chris, Matt Caddy, and all these. Jerry, son of Mick, Kitty 21, Rob Malcolm as well. Good evening to you. And I think that's just about everyone who's said hello in the chat room so far. Good evening to you. Starfish Troopers podcast. There you go. Good evening. The Starfish Troopers. Watched a bit. In fact, I didn't that night. Last night. I did watch a bit last night. A bit of Starfish Troopers. Yeah, they were on last night. I couldn't remember. I couldn't work out whether it was a serious one or the one where they're not serious. Because when I come on, Cookie were talking about something that were pretty not serious, and I thought, I thought this was serious. Anyway, just me being a brat. I also did my thing, my knuckle. I took my knuckle off. Fucking just a nightmare. Anyway, Jimmy, he's been to help his friend. He's been to his friends with his friend today in Gareth, I think it was called. He came on this show, and he's there's been last night is a serious one. Sorry. He's been with his friend Gareth, and he's going to be here very, very soon. Well, I hope anyway, because I am fucking seriously struggling. My voice is hurting like mad. I wish it's not been seen. Oh, there he is. Oh, saved by the bell, saved by the man himself. Oh, let's get him on. Fucking hell, Jimmy, how you doing, mate?
I'm good, Jay. Sorry, man. I didn't realize we were going this early. I thought I still had another half hour.
Oh no, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock on a Tuesday.
Well, I thought it was 8:30. Holy
No,
shit,
it's
man!
9:30 on a Friday and 8 o'clock. It's fucking hell. 8 o'clock on a
Oh
Tuesday.
God, fucking hell, man! I was listening to that fucking arsehole Gonzalo Lira with he was on with Larry Johnson and oh God, fucking communists, man! I fucking can't stand them. Anyway, sorry about that, Jay. Bloody
That's all
hell,
right,
man!
mate. No
Bloody.
worries. Whew, thank God for
So,
that. Thank fuck he's here.
why? What's going on, man? You know,
Like, I was struggling because my voice is, I've been ill for last week or so,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm a bit struggling. Like my voice seems to be getting straight. I don't know if when you've been singing along, you've been a football match or something like that, and you've been singing, and your voice is like that. Your voice seems to be a bit like that. So I was struggling a bit, and then you came along and rescued me, like the green angel coming from the sky and rescuing me.
more like a more like a toxic demon, I reckon.
I don't think I'd say that.
I would, because I know me.
So how you been, mate? Anyway,
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Obviously, like it's been an interesting day over here in Ireland. Like another day out in court. Not me personally, but with my mate Gareth, who if people who were tuned in like to the show there over. I can't remember when the show exactly was, but the
about a
date.
month ago,
But
wasn't it?
it's about a month ago. I think it was on
Yeah.
the 21st, and he would have been on the show the week after that. So it would have been about the 28th or something like that. Um, so he was up again today in court for another for another segment of the actual hearing. So, and it was quite interesting. It was a quite interesting day in court, actually. I do enjoy going to court, because you always meet such interesting characters, and there's always loads of distasteful characters, and there's always the usual suspects. And but but anyway, today not a whole lot happened, but basically he got the CCTV footage provided by the Gardaí.
Give us a bit of background again for people that might not understand. I mean, how's this situation arisen? What's this CCTV about? What's the whole situation about?
Okay, well, if we're to I'll try and do as concise as possible as to what's going on. So, basically, Gareth and his wife are kind of like one of us, right? There are people, right? They are anti treatments, and they are anti mandates, and but basically, like they're not the types that are out like marching the streets and any of that crap. Like but basically, they've been doing their own thing. Like um, his wife got into trouble there not too long ago over mask mandates after getting through the whole pandemic without any problems. Like, and then an area manager came up and gave the wife problems and suspended her from work, and without pay, and all this. There's a whole back history. You would have to go and listen to Gareth on his show there just about a month ago just to get the whole story. But Gareth, there was as the issue was going on in the work area where his wife worked, and they were leaving at the time. There were some issues going on regarding his wife and the mask mandates, and her suspension from work, and over over trivial nonsense by an area manager, like who would just come in for the day. And as they were coming out, they bumped into a senator here in Ireland. His name is Micheál Carrigy, and he was one of the senators who was very, very vocal in the Senate, which would be the equivalent of your House of Lords over there in England. So, and he was calling for mandatory vaccinations for
Right.
everybody at work, or they might lose their jobs. Right? And he's on. I have a video of this. He came out and he said this in the Senate, and Gareth stopped him as Gareth was coming out of the shopping centre, as they were leaving the workplace after all this stuff over the mask mandates and his wife getting suspended on it. That's a whole different story. There's a whole story behind that too, because this family's in turmoil over all this, and they're really living on the edge after all of this crap, just for standing their own ground over this. They're being tortured over this. But as they were leaving the shopping centre on this particular day, Micheál Carrigy actually sort of was coming into the store as they were exiting the store. And Gareth, of course, decided to ask the senator a question. And he's asked who he thinks he is, telling people if they don't get this. It's fair enough. Who do you think you are, mandating that people get this treatment, right? And to keep hold of their jobs and to provide for their families, And Carrigy, from what I understand about how it went, the senator, told Gareth to F off, right? Told him to F off, right? And then Gareth says to him, "You're a fucking disgrace." And this is what the whole case is around, right? Now he's been brought up in court under Section 6 of the criminal legislation, and he's not alone. He is not alone in this. I'm learning that there's more and more people getting called up for this legislation. So that's kind of like the background. We won't get too deep into it because it's all been covered before. Just go back. If you go back a couple of weeks ago, you'll see the show. I've mentioned Garrett's name, and I think the title of the show was Irish Court Service Being Weaponized Against the People. I think that was the title or something to that effect. You'll find it. You'll find it if you go looking for it. You'll get the whole story. So anyway, the last day, basically what happened was we were there all day. I went down to support him because I didn't know Garrett at the time. But this was the first time I had met the man myself. He got in contact via Telegram because he's seen I posted the video of Micheál Carrigy saying what he said in Dáil Éireann about the mandates, and then I invited him into the group, and then we struck a friendship. So basically, the last court case was the first time I met him, and I think we get along. We're on the same wavelength. He's one of us, actually. He actually is really one of us. He's on our wavelength. Whether you're a flat earther or not, it doesn't matter. He's on our wavelength, and so today basically was a continuation of the case. And the last day, it was very, very odd because we were there the whole day. I got in here late to the show. I think it was about 9:05 when I got in. Basically.
You did, yeah.
It was that late. I was really late. Didn't leave the courtroom until it was probably 7:30, and they were still hearing cases. And they said that Garrett had been called, and we were very meticulous during the course of the day to make sure that there was somebody on station to make sure that he didn't miss his calling. Because the way this is organized over here in the courts, it's just a disgrace. It's like, if you have any sort of hearing problems at all, you'll miss getting called for your case. Basically, and that's the way it is. They don't use intercoms. There's nobody running around shouting your name, such and such, come up, it's your case now. You don't hear any of that, and so apparently his case was called at 5:30. Or 5:15, I think I remember correctly. But I didn't hear his name being called. We were both there at that particular time, and I don't recall him being called.
Right.
And the two of us couldn't make that mistake. I think we were there at that particular
You
time.
could, but it's unlikely, isn't it? It's unlikely.
very
But if
unlikely,
you're
yeah.
in the same place, if you're in the same place and then you're not in a place where you can hear it, then it's not being called properly. It needs to be called properly. So what went on today then? What was today all about? Was it about the disclosure that because we talked about disclosure? They weren't prepared to disclose or they hadn't up until that point disclosed the evidence that they were basing this whatever it is prosecution on.
Around the CCTV footage is their evidence, right? So today he got the evidence handed to him in a brown envelope, which is a CD disc, right?
Yeah.
So he got his evidence. Now it's very, very interesting this now, because it's a very, very unusual file type. Now me and him are working in the background trying to figure out how to open this goddamn file, but you can't just open it with a regular media player, right? And I haven't been able to find any solutions just yet online. And he's a pretty astute guy himself, so I'm sure he's working on it himself in the background. But we'll figure it out. But what happened was
essentially what they've given you is some CCTV that you can't really access.
Exactly. So what they've
given you is a fucking a coaster for your coffee to put your coffee on your desk so you don't fucking ruin your desk. That's essentially what they've given you.
Yeah. It's nuts. But apparently this is apparently these CCTV recordings are kept in a very particular file, in a particular encoding using, I think it's H.264 format. I think, like, I got some information about that particular file, but like it's very, very hard to tell. Like, how do you tell which exact encoding that it's in? Like, because I think he tried out a number of the demuxing versions on VLC. It still hasn't been able to access that file. So the curious thing was, like, he did raise the question about, will I be able to view this file in the court? Like, before he knew what type of file it was. And the judge turned around to him and she said, well, if you had a solicitor, you would probably be able to know how to open the file.
What the hell's that going to do with her? Oh, this clerk of court.
Yeah,
Clerks, they think that they are the fucking beasties. I once stood and had a fucking row, honestly, in fucking Barnsley Magistrates Court when they said that I was speeding. They said they caught me speeding. In fact, they'd pulled me over. And I'd gone in and said, look, it was fucking 4 o'clock in the morning. I was doing 80, I think, 83 or something, down M1 at 4 o'clock in the morning from fucking Wakefield, Sheffield. So I went in and I argued with honestly, I stood, Adi were with me, and Adi sat in the public gallery behind. And I stood, and she stands there and she starts talking to me. She says, name. And I sort of like looked as if, who said that? And she said, name, your name. And I looked at the side and she says, your name. I said, excuse me, are you talking to me? And she said, yes, your name. I said, hang on a minute, you're a public servant. I'm a member of the public. I don't allow my servants to talk to me like that. I don't know what you allow your servants to do, but my servants aren't allowed to talk to me like that. Now, you'll talk to me properly. Right, and she went, right, you are, and I said, whoa, calm down. Anyway, by this time, I just said, if you don't talk to me properly, I'm just going to stand to the side, and I want the magistrates all to leave while we resolve this, because there were magistrates were sat behind her, so anyway, I just turned to the side. Anyway, she dismissed magistrates and got them out of the way, and then we had this fucking blazing row, and I fucking hated the bit. I think she's fucking dead now. It's probably it weren't long after that as well. I did notice in a thing that she were fucking, but they think that they fucking own everything. But yeah, sorry, I've hijacked your story. Go on.
No, you're okay. Where was it? We were on? I was talking about the video for what the judge said. Right, I was talking about what the judge said, and
Yeah,
well, if you'd had a solicitor, you'd know. It's like, but it's like, if you're there defending yourself, right, and and they use a term that you don't understand. He says, well, what do you mean? Was this? If I told you, you'd know. That's more or less what she says to him. If I told you, you'd know. It's like,
yeah.
um, so anyway, he got his CCTV footage and stuff like that. But like, um, I don't think he's going to need CCTV footage. Because they're trying to use this Section 6. This is it's Section 6 under the criminal law here at the moment in Ireland. And I think he's going to be okay. I think he's going to be okay. Um, I think the last time I came on talking about Gareth, and I was very worried for him, like, because he was defending himself and stuff like that. And I didn't know him that well at the time, but today I learned a lot more about him. And, you know, he has a habit of going into courtrooms and representing himself, so he's not like a newbie to the situation, and I feel a lot more relaxed about that now, because the last day I was so worried about him, like, because it's a very, very intimidating place to be, like, in a courtroom, trying to stand your ground and just to state your case, and it's so easy, and they know how to trigger you, they know how to wind you up, like, and they know how to confuse you, like, and they use all these different tricks when you're in a courtroom, like, just to get you unhinged and get you off topic, and but I think he's going to be okay, I think he's going to be okay.
Good man. Good man. Yeah, that's what it's this pettiness, this petty crap. This is the thing that really fucking pissed me off last week and perhaps contributed to me fucking being ill, is this shit with council that I've got. Again, I've got no business with council. I don't have any business with council whatsoever. I own this house. It's owned. It's not mortgaged. It's bought. It's paid for. And it's the garden. And as far as I'm concerned, I can do what the fuck I want with it, right? They think that I've probably got, or they think that I've took half a fucking centimetre of their garden, which I haven't, and I provably haven't. But you see, the thing is then they get you into court, and then they fucking wear you down, and then they get you to hire a solicitor. Then you lose because you're not prepared, and then they fucking get your house off you. That's the way they do it. That's exactly the way they do it, through fucking legal fees and stuff like that. Well, they won't be doing that, but they won't be doing fucking anything. But yeah, it's terrible why the way shit's been going on, the way shit is going on with and these things, because there are so many bigger things, all these little things are now getting lost and eaten up. We used to have quite a lot of people during 2014, 2013, 2015, even 2016, that would be going up against magistrates. But again, we were quite naive with that. I mean, Tom Crawford lost his house when he posted on Facebook he was on his way down to London. So then bailiffs knew immediately his wife was going to be in on her own. She's an elderly, oldish woman, and she wasn't very well either. And so, they knew that were easy pickings. So again, it's like you've got to play it smarter, and this is a learning curve for us. And they've been doing it for years, but for us, it's a completely new learning curve, and we're not very organised at it. But I'm sure we will be, and we'll get there eventually in the end.
Yeah, there was another chap in the court today, also representing himself, and he was quite good as well too. And but I think he made one mistake. But apparently somebody had accused him of throwing stones at something, or I don't know. I think because my hearing is not the best sometimes, Jay, and I do find it hard hearing what they're saying away across the room, because you're sitting back, like you're kind of like in the public area. Like, I do find it hard to hear everything, like, so I do have to strain to hear all the details of the case. And so apparently, like, claims were made against him, and about throwing stones and about a certain amount of damage done, like, but what he's saying is like he's saying that they're, they're just pointing a finger, like, and they're not there. There's nobody there. None of the accusers are there. It's the same with Garrett's case, right? It's like they don't refer to Michal Carnegie uh, in the first person. Like what it is the injured party, and the bloody injured party is not there, right? The injured party is not there for cross questioning. So like hopefully at some stage down the line that like Garrett will get the chance to introduce the injured party into and get a chance to cross-examine him, because I think he'll do a good job on that, like, you know, because he's certainly quite capable of doing it, you know.
Sorry, I'm just texting my missus downstairs to bring me something up when she comes up. Sorry.
No, you're all right, man.
Just some
of the cases that were going on there today were just ridiculous, man. They were just ridiculous. Like there was another young chap brought in for something got to do with a gun, right? Gun crime, and got a chance to chat with him and everything afterwards as well too, because we were watching what was going on. And the accuser in this case was a female Garda, a very, very pretty one. Now, you know, I was thinking today, like, you know, remember that scene where on Only Fools and Horses when when he brings the copper home. It's like,
oh, that one, yeah, where they're hiding everything.
And you know what? I'd be tempted to give that one a poke. This one today, like, you know, she was very pretty. Like, it's not too often you see a Bangardi here in Ireland that actually looks pretty. Normally, they look like they've got an ass about two barn doors wide, like, and a pair of jugs hanging down on the floor, dragging between their legs, like, as they walk. But anyway, you know, she was very, very pretty, but she hadn't a clue when she was on the stand, like, you know, and this particular gentleman who was cross-examining her, like, you know, and he was getting her into a fluster, like, and she didn't know the case. She couldn't state anything for certain. It was very, very interesting, very, very interesting day today in court, seeing two people there actually representing themselves. So very educational day, I thought. But I get tired of courts, man. I even though, like, we got out early for a change. It wasn't like the last day. We got out early, like, but it was still very tiring, you know. I find it a very tiring day.
Yeah, it's draining, isn't it? It's draining when you're dealing with these fucking drones and robots, and you're an actual human being. It is draining. It can be draining, and your mention of the female officer, I tend to find that they are becoming more. They are becoming. There's more attractive women heading into police force. I don't know what it is, or whether that's the way that they're picking it, but I don't know whether it's to calm people down in situations. I don't know, but they seem to be choosing more and more of these. Obviously, you get the ones that are fucking used to be wrestlers or East German fucking shot putters or something like that. You'll always get them. They'll always be there or thereabouts. But they do seem to. They just seem to be a lot more young, and I'm all power for it, all fucking power to it, because a bloke is less likely to fucking clump a woman, and you know, and violence is no good. We don't want to see that. What's that one? Excuse me, Jimmy.
I don't know. It was probably something I said, because I'm not known for being politically savvy. A lot of things I do tend to upset people, so I do have to be aware of that, you know. But anyway, but yeah, this young man that was up in the gun charges, it didn't seem to be any case at all. Like, you know, the poor chap, like, you know, he got given a gun by his father, like, way back before he died, and it was pride and joy. And then when the pandemic started, right, and the gun clubs shut down, because to be able to hold a license, you got to be part of a gun club, and because the gun clubs and everything were shut down, well, then obviously there seemed to be some issue being able to get a renewal of a license. His license actually ran out. So what he had done was he handed the gun in, because he couldn't get the license. He actually handed the gun in. So when they come to raid his house, the gun wasn't there. because he'd handed it in to an appropriate authority. He says, like, I can't get a license, so he handed it in. And what they came and done him for was having a couple of shells a couple of cartridges that he had sort of like in a drawer that he probably forgot about. You know, it's like, oh man, and they're trying to hammer him for a couple of cartridges, and it was like nuts. But it was a really interesting conversation that I had about it, like afterwards, like, and we got talking about the scamdemic, and his girlfriend was there with him, and the two of them were there. He says, and the girlfriend turns up, I didn't get that. And he says, and the lad says, no, neither did I. And he says, well, I'm delighted to hear that. You know, he says, there's probably a lot more of us than we think here. You know, so I have to say, Court is a fascinating place to go to. You meet all sorts of really interesting people.
Oh, yeah, you certainly do. I spent a lot of time in courts over years, mostly motoring offences, shit like that. I was always getting stopped and fucking banned. In fact, I probably got banned I've only been banned twice. But I got, I went in court and I'd pay fines, and I don't have insurance and things like that. Things you do when you're young. So I used to, but
when you're old.
I'll tell you what, it was a great education, because while they were fucking donuts were sat outside, listening, just fucking, well, they weren't on the phones obviously, but still just doing whatever they were fucking doing, flicking bogies at window or whatever. I'd sit in the public gallery until it was my turn to go up. So I'd sit in public gallery, and then I'd be able to watch the way that it worked, the mechanics of it, and how it worked, and I was always quite surprised at the language between the people that were taking part in the court, the people that worked there in between cases, even though they were me sat there in public gallery, being able to hear and listen to them. And I remember one particular time, they were just talking. In the middle of the case had gone out, so the magistrates had gone, and they were prosecution, and then they were defence. I think it were duty solicitor. And I heard them talking, and I heard the prosecution say, or I thought I heard the prosecution say, he's a tosser. Right.
All right.
Talking about a case that were coming up, and I heard her say, and I thought, she said he's a tosser. So I said, excuse me. Like, they had the backs turned to me. Oh, I said, excuse me. Just a quick question. That person you were talking about, did you say they were a tosser? And she says to me, no. I said he was a totter. A totter, as in somebody tots up points all the time, who's always getting points. They call him a totter. Right. So there's me thinking, oh, fucking hell, these cunts here. They think they're our servants, and they're calling us tossers, and it weren't. They were a tosser. So it was my fault. I got it wrong anyway.
No, don't worry. Yeah, that's funny, actually. That's really funny.
It is interesting. If you ever get a chance, if you're interested, I mean, I just got interested because I was just there under circumstance, and I didn't want to listen to all fucking loony bins fucking running about trying to sell each other fucking crack cocaine and fucking spice or whatever fucking shit they were selling at that time. I was back in the 90s, so it wouldn't have been spice, would it? But yeah, it's really is eye-opening. But some of the things I can tell you that I got up to try and get out of going into court. When Emmy was a baby, I took her along with me, and I said, because I was a DJ, so I was the primary carer for Emmy when she was a baby, and so I took her with me. So I got her in my arms, and they said, called me up, and I went, here I am, and I went in. I've got her in my arms, and whoa, where are you going with that? I says, well, says it's my daughter. How old's your daughter? Oh, I don't know, fucking 8 months old, 9 months old, something like that, something really ridiculous. You can't take her in. I said, what am I going to do? Tell her to sit outside here and wait. So then
Yeah.
there's a negotiation going on between inside and outside because I can't possibly take her into court. No, there's nobody who I trust outside court to look after her. So in end, it ended up getting like just, blurted. It just ended up getting adjourned. So it got moved to another day. Yeah. So, but I used to use all sorts of tactics to see what you could do in court that would really piss them off, and not turning up. And that's one of my favourites. Is I'd not turn up. I'd just not turn up at court, and then they'd come for me. And I go,
that's interesting because today there was a load of cases called out. There was 3 itinerant women, right, and they were supposed to be in court, and their names were being called, and they weren't there, of course, and of course the solicitor would have to stand up. Oh, well, we got a call from Winifred there about an hour ago. Her baby is sick.
yeah.
And then the other Winifred Nevin had called in, and she has to stay and mind the woman that's minding the baby that's sick. Very, very crucial period in time. Mitigating circumstances and all this. You've got to use every
opportunity at your disposal. You've got to use every tool at your disposal because that's what they do. They'll use any tool that's there at your disposal. At their disposal, they'll use on you, so you should use it on them.
Absolutely.
I've got shits. Yeah. I've got shits. I fucking did that when they arrested me for Beckham thing, and I got fucking. I'd drunk a bottle of vodka. I was fucking well wasted. I mean, only 10 at night, but it had been going on all day. And then when they come to arrest me at 10:30 at night, hour laid asleep. They came into the bedroom, stood in front of me, 4 coppers. I was completely stark-bollock naked, got up, and I said, I'm not going to cause you any fucking problems. And he said, they went, put some clothes on. I said, I'm having a shit. I need a shit. He says, we haven't got time. We haven't got, you can't go have a shit. I said, listen, I'm either having a shit here or I'm having a shit in the back of your car. It's up to you. But whatever it is, if it's here, it'll get cleaned by the toilet. If it's in the back of your car, I'm not cleaning it. Because I warned you. They did it. 2 coppers, a woman and a man, stood directly in front of me. Right, so if I'm sat in a shit, remember I had 2 legs there, stood there like that while I'm having a shit. The dirtiest, sloppiest, smelliest shit you've ever fucking known in your life. And I fucking loved every minute on it, and I kept dragging it out, and I kept going. I was a bit belligerent anyway. I was pissed off. I've been woke up at 10:30 at night. You were arresting me on some trumped up fucking blackmail charges, which had fuck all to do with anything. They were just fucking. It were only because they were embarrassed that they'd lost all this fucking data and then just giving it to some fucking nobody. and you just have to get as much out of them as you can. When they took me into custody, and I didn't know this bit. I didn't know that if you didn't say you understand, if I didn't say that I understand, that they couldn't do it. I didn't know that then, but I just wouldn't say it. They said you've been arrested for theft and conspiracy to blackmail. You've been arrested for theft and conspiracy to blackmail. Do you understand? No. And then kept repeating it. No matter how you repeat, I don't understand. I don't understand. Kept chucking me in fucking thing. That went on for hours. Went on for fucking hours. And then when it eventually I said to him, because I didn't know, eventually I said to him, you get me a Quran and I'll do what you say. So they went running around fucking building looking for a Quran. I'm sure they've got fucking hundreds now. We've been running.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's the joys of living in a multicultural society, and it's got its benefits. It's got its benefits.
Of course it has. Yeah, if you want, you want your 15-year-old daughter raped, then fucking, that's multiculturalism is what you want, especially in Rotherham. Fuck's sake, fucking blew that apart and all, didn't I? They didn't like that.
Yeah, but it's all down to the class of the individual that's coming in. Like, at the end of the day, a lot of what they're bringing into to the countries are the scum of the earth. Like, not the people that are going to be sort of like contributing to society. Like, but
It's like us
you know,
sending the Jeremy Kyle generation to somewhere. All fucking lot of them,
oh,
innit?
yeah, do you know what? Yeah, it'd be great if somebody would take them. It'd be fucking great. Gladly replace that lot.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably people in Afghanistan are thinking, thank fuck all them fucking thugs have gone or wherever they've come from, because most of them come from Afghanistan anyway. If you're a bloke in Afghanistan, you're on a rate gig, aren't you?
Well,
The woman has to do everything for you. You just get told. That's a gig. If you're a Muslim chap or a fella or
it's
someone who's
not
been
all
brought up in
like
that
that though,
culture.
Jay. It's not all like that, though, Jay. Like a lot of Afghanistan it's not like that. But you've got your extremists now, and I don't even know how organic it is. Like with when America left, like and with their tail between their legs, and what's been going on there is just atrocious. Like and it wasn't like that. I think there was a wish for change. A lot of people didn't want to go along with the old sort of extreme ideologies, and it looked like there was a wish for change. Like, but they're back now under the jack boot, and you've got the Taliban, like and you know what? They're a bunch of arseholes, they really are, like, and of course they are. They're funded and trained to be that way. Like it's. I don't believe it's organic at all.
No,
I think it's all fake, and I really do. I believe it's all fake, and it's just the way it's like what they're doing in this country. It's in this country now at the moment. It's like they're weaponizing the police against the people under this Section 6 rule, like where you have to be bloody careful about what you say. Gareth was telling me there today about what was happening. I can't remember. I'm not sure if I got the person right, but it might have been his partner who was talking about relating a lot of the increase in death to a certain treatment, right? And what's happening is that they're trying to silence people here at the moment. I didn't realize that it was getting like this, like, but it seems to be this is the case. This is what this Section 6 law is about. This Section 6, which Garrett has been taken to court with, and it's been used as a weapon to shut people up, stop them talking about things in public which deserve to be spoken about in public. And we're going through it here ourselves here on YouTube, like where we have to be so freaking careful or we'll get struck. And I think we're learning how to cope with it. I think to a certain extent, like so. But this is what's been used against the people. Like they're just weaponizing the cops. Like I don't know how they're doing it. I really don't know. Like how are they incentivizing them? Like to turn cops into such moronic automatons that they'll turn on their own people over such trivial bullshit that I seen going on in the courts today. It's just, it's unreal. Like, it's just like, how can the court system be so full of petty bullshit? It's like, oh God, man, this is like going to a play school with delinquent kids like in charge. Like, it's mad.
yeah, it is. Hang on, just a second. You carry on talking. I just need to just quickly have a word with my wife. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries, mate. No worries, mate. Let's see what's going on in the chat. And John said Ireland will have to pay for sucking of the EU tit for all these years. Yeah, I would agree with that. Like, I'm no fan of Europe, to be honest, John. It's like I hate Europe. I really do. Like, but at the end of the day, we've always been here in Ireland. We've always been under the boot of some country. Like it was England for a very long time, but we can't really say it was England because, like, at the end of the day, the real source of that jackboot was Rome, and that's just the reality of shit. Like, and now it's the EU. I don't know what the end goal is of following this EU plan. It's just nonsensical. They're a bunch of crazies, man. The EU is just nutsoid. You know, this federalist expansion, this federalist state of Europe. It's pure communist. All our political parties here now are just communist, basically, and this is the reality shit. And we've got this communitarian law coming in, and this is the end goal. This communitarian law, and it's a very, very odd the way this communitarian law works. It's like the way it's been weaponized is like everybody is going to be organized into small little community groups, like, and what they're going to be doing is they're going to be having like weekly meetings where they're going to be reporting on each other. Oh, such and such he's got 2 motorbikes in his backyard and there's something not right there, and perhaps we should organize the Gestapo to go and investigate, or perhaps they've got they had such and such a person coming in there at 2:00 in the morning. There's something weird going on there. Perhaps we should get the Gestapo to go and check out what's going on in that household. And this is this communitarian, and like communitarian law, it's basically communism, full stop. Like, we'll have a look into this at some stage, like, because it's quite fascinating. But this is what's coming in under this new UN agenda, this UN Smart City project, like, you know, and everybody is we're back to communist times. We're back to the time in Eastern Europe when the Berlin Wall went up, like, and everybody was spying on each other. It's quite fascinating, like, when the Stasi files came out, like, the amount of people who were in the employ of the Stasi and reporting on everybody else. Huge numbers of people were actually getting paid to report on people. And this is where we're going, I think, with especially with the if we do end up getting onto the CBDCs and the social credit score and all this, you know, this is all going to play in. It's going to be a soft kind of control. You know, it's going to it'll be a soft type of control which is going to be imposed on the people, but it will have sort of serious effects, like, to the individual, like, financially and socially, if they do manage to get this whole system set up and installed. And I don't like where this is going, and I'm thinking, like, where the fuck am I going to go? It's like, I want out. It says, like, and and time is running out.
The only way to go is down, innit? You've got to just dig yourself in somewhere, you know, and so that people just walk across top of you. If I could fucking if I could just, like, one morning wake up in this fucking old house were just below ground, and they were, you know, everything across top were just as if it had just disappeared. It was fucking great.
Like a mud flood.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. That's what you want, isn't it? You just want to, just everybody's a fucking irritant at the moment. Everybody that's got any sort of, who has any part of your life is a fucking irritant. Not you lot, obviously. I'm talking about fucking these people that more authority. Oh, more authority, man. More authority. What does that mean? Oh, it means I can do me. Fucking brain dead morons.
Can I leave you at the helm for a moment, Jay? I've just got to, because I only just got my fire. I thought I had time to get the fire going properly. I'm just going to go check on it and top it up right now, and back in a moment.
All right, no problem. No problem. All right, Jim. There you go. Jim's going to go and sort his fire out. I don't know if that's a euphemism. I mean, don't know if he needs a wank halfway through. Oh, what? Yeah. Where's that tosser Dins, says non-violent extremist. And where's Uni? Where has Uni gone? I looked on Telegram the other day, and he'd been on Telegram. I've not heard from him for ages, but he had been on Telegram about, I think he said he'd been on about 21 minutes ago. But nobody's seen him. I've had a search party out for him.
Have you guys seen Hitler?
See? So, and still no. So, you know, he took a shower and well, didn't return. Yeah, he did, didn't he? He did. Yeah, it is. It's one. It's going to be one of them. It's going to be one of them facts on internet. You know, when someone does a story in 100 years' time about the old, antiquated, and so oh, fucking look at that. Yeah, look how old that is. It's still in. It's in 2D. Fucking hell. Okay, now it's not even holographic. Dinny is not having a great time. Oh, his friend passed away this week. No, sorry about that, Dinny. I hope you're all right, pal. I think I saw him saying something about that in chat yesterday on Cookies. Yeah, so anyway, for listening, Dinny, all the best to you, mate, and to you and anybody that's affected by what's happened. Clearly, you have been affected by it, so hopefully Dinny will be back. So he'll be back soon. You can't keep a fucking good Irish fucking German bear. It's like a Hofmeister bear. You never knew a Hofmeister bear were Irish, did you? Know that? Remember that? Follow the bear, that beer that's fucking Dinny in the middle of the woods in Germany. You want great lager? Follow the bear. You can't keep him down long. Or an Irishman away from a bar, really. I think is that a bit stereotypical? Are there any Irish people that don't drink? No, I don't think there is. I don't know any anyway. I don't know many Irish people, to be fair. I know Dinny and I know Jimmy. I'm going on a bit, Anna. We'll talk a bit about this Nicola Bulley situation as well. Someone's mentioned it in the chat, and I want to get onto that because that I've just really started looking at that, and I can't actually believe that she disappeared quite a long time before we went away. I thought it was actually it was the Friday before we went away, but yeah, actually it does probably work out right, doesn't it? That I in the middle of the week, but yeah, really, really strange goings on there with the Nicola Bulley situation. Something's clearly not correct. I don't know what they're trying to do. There's definitely agenda being used with it, whether it's to stop TikTok sleuths or whatever. It could be any of that. But what do you make of it, Jim? Jimmy's back. What do you make of it, Jimmy? This Nicola Bulley situation. Have you ever heard much about it? And what's your take on it?
It's come onto my radar, but I don't know a huge amount about the case, Jay. To be honest, like it's not been high on my radar because there's just been so much going on. But maybe just give me a little background into the case because she went missing, didn't she? Or is she dead? Or
yeah, she's dead. Yeah. And well, what I'm doing is I'm finding a timeline, so I can put it up on screen. Options, fuck off options. Sorry, everybody, for swearing at you. I'm not swearing at you. I'm swearing at the. Why do you have to do all this shit?
I was seeing a lot of strange stuff coming up on the feed. There's a lot of people asking a lot of questions about what's going on around this case, and to be honest, I wish I had time just to delve into it a bit, like, you know. So, but it just hasn't been high on my radar with all the other geopolitical stuff going on, Jay. You know.
Right. So let's just expand this up a bit like that. There we go. So. This bloke, first of all, it were dog walkers that found her yesterday. Dog walkers, you know, usual. Someone walking the dog.
Oh, she was only found yesterday.
She was found yesterday. So I've got right. This has got a timeline on it. So, but first of all, it was dog walkers, and now it's somebody with a psychic gift. So some psychics done it, but
right.
Has found her. But there's a timeline. Around here, there we go. So she's 45 years old. She first went. Where's fucking timeline? I found a timeline. I don't think it was that one. But anyway, she went missing on 27th of January in the morning. She's 45 years old. As far as I can tell, she's got young children, or she's got a young child that she's dropped off at school. And so the area where she's gone missing, as you can see here, this is the area she's gone missing. What the fuck is this? Why can't I get rid of that? Fuck off. There you go.
Rawcliffe. What part of the? Oh, I can see up there on the top left. Up near is it up near Liverpool? Is it or?
It's up near Morecambe, that sort of area, just a bit north of Liverpool. I think
Right.
Morecambe's a closer place. Perhaps somebody in chat room will let me know what's better. But from there, I'd say sort of Morecambe. It's the River Wye, isn't it? So the River Wye. Anyway.
Oh, I see what you mean. St. Michael's on Wire would be on the River Wire. Okay, I understand.
Yeah. River Wire.
Right.
This is the River Wire. Somewhere in this, I don't know whether it's this bit. There's a footpath, and there is an adjacent river, and there's a part where the footpath separates from the river just a little bit, and then so she's last seen here around 9 a.m. on 27th of January. Nicola's phone was found. Her phone was found on a bench, right? And the funny thing about it is, and there's no mention of the dog on here as well, because her dog was found. She was a dog walker.
I remember she was walking the dog. Yeah.
No mention of the dog on this one, but the phone's found there. Now, the interesting thing I spotted today, which I made a note of, the phone, when it was found, it was still connected to a Teams call. Now, I don't know much about it, but it's a bit. I think that's like a business version of Zoom Teams. It's Microsoft Teams, isn't it?
I've actually used it before. Yeah. It's Teams. Well, it's not that it's business. It's open to the public as well too. I think you can use. Okay. Anyone can use Teams, I think, and I think. Do you remember way back after the breakup with Emma? You probably might remember that, like when Tony Hurst and Andy would have gotten together after the breakup at MSI. We had a chat room on Teams. I remember, if I remember correctly.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Microsoft Teams. Yeah. So anyway, she was still, but I know a lot of them do it for meetings and stuff like that. I don't know whether she was doing it for a meeting. I don't know what, but it was on Teams. That's, to me, is interesting. That's something that should be concentrated on, because there could be so much evidence on there. If the Teams thing is recorded, if it's going to have the last recorded moments of, which her putting the phone down, or whoever put the phone down, putting it there. That again, but that's just I'm obviously not in this investigation. I don't even know if they're looking at that, or they have done and just thought that it must just be some anomaly.
It's a long time since I used Teams, Jay, and I think it was some sort of, at the time it was chat mostly. I don't recall if there was video at the time, but I think it was mostly chat, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. I remember it. I think I remember it as well. There were lots about there back in the day. Team Talk and fucking Team Talk or Pal Talk. And fucking all sorts of different things. A lot of them were text and some were VoIP, voice over IP. So So then her body's found on February 19th, which is 23 days. Is it 23 days? Till 23 days she's been missing, and her body's found there. The family said, see, this is a lot less than what I was reading earlier on. It's been trimmed out, this.
Right, yeah.
But the police found it, or somebody revealed that she had an alcohol problem for the day before. I think it was the day before she was found. Somebody said that she got that it was revealed that she got an alcohol problem that was to do with. It was put down to the menopause. I don't know, but this is the bloke here. Look at this bloke here. Look at him.
I have an alcohol problem, and I don't have the menopause, Jay. Is there something wrong with me?
This is the bloke who says he discovered Nicola Bulley. He claims he used his gifts as a medium to lead him to another mother's body, to the missing mother's body. Look at him. Just look how stereotypical that fucking photo is. It's like when somebody at our school, because I lived in a shitty area, whenever anybody got fucking O-level geography, it got fucking meant local papers. And so there'd be some fucker stood there with a map of world and fucking, headline had said local boffin scoops fucking geography awards, O-level. And there'd be a bloke stood there, a kid stood there with a fucking map of world. So, you could, this is just so stereotypical.
It reminds me of that case.
It's
Remember
fucking
that case?
Jason. Oh my God. We're all wrong. Sorry, mate, go on.
No, remember that case of the two little girls who were murdered by the school caretaker, and he actually appeared in some of the early interviews, the media interviews. What was his name? Do you remember the case? Hinckley. Huntley. Yeah. They yeah, something like that. I wonder, maybe, come on, a medium finds the body. It's like, excuse me, I'm not sure I believe in that shit. Like, but you know what? Who knows? There could be such thing as a flat Earth.
Yeah, well, to me, it don't look like. It don't look like anybody I'd be trusting. If he came to me and said, "I know where your fucking dead daughter is," first thing I wouldn't be thinking is, "Oh my God, this bloke's a medium, and he obviously knows where my daughter is." I'd be thinking, this is obviously fucking one of fucking Neil Sanders' rent boys that's fucking been sent round with his ball and his fucking. I mean, what's point in that scarf? It's not even a real scarf. Look how thin that scarf. It's not going to keep his neck warm. Probably wouldn't even keep his cock warm. It might keep his cock warm, but it's not going to fucking keep his neck warm, is it?
Yeah, I don't like judging people by their looks, if at all possible. Like, at the same time, but I know where you're coming from, Jay. It's like, you get a sense of people. He looks a bit odd now, to be honest. Like, he really does.
I know, and I know he's done. I know he's been portrayed like that because so that people like me will react like that, like this, right? I know that.
Yeah.
So I'm just playing to the crowd. That's all I'm doing. I'm playing to the crowd. Honestly, he doesn't look anything like. It doesn't look anything like any of the fucking rent boys that I've seen Neil Sanders with. So obviously I'm just being a bit facetious when I said that. But yeah, it's a self-promoting twat. So there you go. There's one thing that's fucking right. That's the same. So that does quite fucking. There you go. Spanish chicken, self-promoting twat. So that does like add up as well. It's a scarfette. All right. Well, tell me its fucking purpose then. What's a scarfette? But yeah, it does get weirder. It's weirder and weirder and weirder. But there you go.
Poor girl. It's awful. Like, poor thing. And she was only found yesterday, Jay.
I know. Yeah, yesterday morning. Horrendous. It's absolutely fucking horrendous. Bastards. Whoever's doing it is a cunt, aren't they? Whoever's doing it is a cunt. Let's see what.
Well, it's not like it's a new phenomenon, though, Jay. Like, think about it. Like the amount of beautiful women that get murdered year in, year out. Like, it's not unusual. Like, it's a sad state of our existence. Like, and it's like a clear indication to me that we have not really matured really yet as a species. Like, when we have so many atrocities that go on, like, and it's unconscionable to me. Like, it's, to me anyway, like, it's just unconscionable, like, to snuff a life out. I don't think I couldn't do it. I couldn't personally do it. But I understand there's an awful lot of crazy people out there, and they don't even think twice about snuffing somebody's life out.
Well, it's not something that you should take lightly at all.
No.
But no. This is the thing. I mean, as a species, do you think that as a species we talk too much, and none of the other species? I know they communicate with each other, but it's usually, I would imagine, it's on a the height of sophistication is get out of my way or move or danger or stuff like that. But you know, we talk about things too much and let us natural instincts? Do we try to suppress his natural instincts too much? I just don't know. I just don't know I just don't know. I can't make any head and tail of it all.
We don't talk enough, Jay. And last Friday, I kind of
too much. I think
I kind of went on a rant about this last Friday, Jay, in your absence, and I was telling the story about some gobshite that I was chatting to here, like, and he didn't want to talk about anything that might be of relevance. What he wanted to talk about was like bullshit that happened 30 fucking years ago. And, you know, and he didn't want to approach the issues of the now and the present. He just wanted to live in that nostalgic era way back, like when totally irrelevant crap. Like, it might have been kind of indirectly related to a person he was talking about, but it's of zero relevance to the here and now. And when I tried to focus him on the topic, on the here and now, which is the excess death, and I don't talk about this much with people here. It's not something I'm focused on. To be honest, I couldn't care less about it. It's like, it is what it is. Like, but if you try to approach these people with something which is tangible in the here and now, no, they block up. They've got this blinkers on. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it because that could be me. You know, I can't see it. Let's talk about 30 years ago. It's like, God, can I just shoot you now and put you out of your misery? I have to be careful, Jay, because, you know, I have to be really careful because I was just blown away that post you put in Telegram the other day from Paul's grandson.
Yeah.
And that blew my mind away. And
I'll play it on show when I get permission from her, but I didn't want to, you know.
I know
it's in Telegram group. Everyone can see it, but it was in Telegram group. But I'll play it on show if once I get a permission. But I was blown away by it as well, and I've ordered him a cube because he apparently when she sent me the thing through, she said he likes me cubes and stuff like that. So I've ordered him a cube and had it sent down to him.
Brilliant.
A pretty good cube. So hopefully get him into cubing as well. Not the kid into, get him into cubing, something that's logical and something that's not a fucking screen, you know, for a kid. And he's obviously got a lot of talent and a lot of, he's got a lot of energy and a lot of
humor.
Yeah,
humor. He had me down.
Humor. Yeah, but Jesus.
He had me down to a T. I thought, oh, be Jesus. I tell you what, I got such a laugh out of that. And to that young man, hand on heart, you are our future. And don't stop what you're doing. I'll tell you, you are amazing. It gives me a lot of hope for the future when I see that. And when you think about the amount of work that went into that, like to build that from scratch, from Lego, right? And he had the lift immaculate. Your lift, he had Watson in there, and my cats, you know, he didn't miss a beat. He had us to a T.
Yeah, he had the wheelchair in there. He had me lift in there.
Wow,
amazing.
And
he had you in like a dark fucking room corner on your own.
yeah.
Yeah,
that's why I know we're going to be all right. You know, that's why I know we're going to be all right.
Yeah, because we'll still be able to do that when it burns around us, all embers.
Absolutely. The only thing he didn't get right, he didn't have me with a cigarette. Holy God! Flipping hell, the bloody cats! Bloody hell! I'm going to kill yous!
Let's have a look, see what they're saying in chat room. Blah blah. SW Boxing has joined. Good evening, SW Boxing. Let's have a look. Tony says these energies are real, tangible, but when you call on these spirits and use their energies to manifest your desires, those spirits you have borrowed energies from. Right, okay. Yeah, got you. I think we get that.
Yeah.
I'll put that up on screen so you can read it yourself. They want payment and interest on what they shared and not what they shared. This is just honestly, it's like reading the Enigma. You know, like reading German things that are in code.
I know, it's like all the spiritualism. It kind of like it's above my pay grade. I can't think of things in terms of spirits, but I can relate to things in terms of energy. I'm an exchange of energy, and as far as my read goes into it, right? You know, there's positive energies and there's negative energies, but you know, I think they both cancel each other out. You know, and you can't have one without the other. So like, and this is the way I see things, especially with religion too. Like, religion would be nothing without the negative side of religion, which is Satan. You know, the two can't be divided. You can't have one without the other, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to live in that world, you know, you have to acknowledge that there has to be the existence of Satan, which is the antithesis of what your foundation and your belief is based on. You can't have one without the other. You know,
No,
I like to stay in the middle if I can with everything. It's like with everything, and sometimes it's very, very hard not to get polarized. You know, because there's always an issue comes up which is going to fucking trigger you, you know, get you think, oh god, and yeah, I'm angry about that. No, that's right, that's wrong. You know, it's so hard sometimes just to say, calm the fuck down. It's not real. Stay balanced and just go through the fucking middle of it.
Yeah. Well, when you're talking about a spiritual part, I've got a very big spiritual part of myself, and like I've mentioned on this show loads of times that I've sat and had conversations with a dead member of my family who I know several times, and those conversations have been linked. And also, I saw something about lucid dreaming, so I thought I'd have a crack at that. And over the last 2 nights, I've had the same dream in the same place, and it's a place that I'm familiar from another dream, if you know what I mean, because I was looking for that part of where I were in a different dream in that dream last night, if you know what I mean. So
interesting.
I've been having a little look around that, and there's techniques to it. You've got to sort of pinch yourself on nose, and you've got to become it's got to become a habit. If you pinch yourself on nose, it becomes a habit, and then you know that's what you do to realize that you're asleep. When you pinch yourself on nose, you realize you're asleep. There's many times that I've done that where I've done something, I've been in a dream and something's happened and I've thought, it's a fucking dream, this. It's a dream. I'm having a dream, aren't I? And then I thought, oh, bollocks. You know, either something really good's happened or something really bad's happened. In fact, no, it's usually when something really good's happened, you just go, it's fucking dream, this, isn't it? But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting to look into. But
I'd never heard of the pinching the nose one, but I remember years ago when I read the writings of Carlos Castaneda when he was talking about Don Juan, the Yaqui Indian, and they were doing their hallucinogenic work. Whether you believe it or not, I'm not even sure I believe Castaneda. Like, you know, he probably hallucinated the whole fucking lot. But anyway, for all I know. But apparently the trick to figure out if you're in a dream or not, and what Castaneda said the Yaqui Indian told him was like, look down and try and find your hand. Look at your hand. And kind of like it sounds similar in a way, if you know what I mean. Like it does sound very similar. Pinch your nose, find your hand. Like little techniques to sort of like I don't know. I don't I haven't a clue about lucid dreaming, but sometimes I have some crazy dreams, and then I wake up from them, and I just want to be back there, but you can't get back there, and it's just oh my god. And some of them were very erotic.
Yeah, they're the ones you're never going to get back to, man.
No, it's like weird, man. It's like weird.
I don't think I've had an erotic one in a dream in God knows how long. I don't know whether that says what that says about me.
No, but when I mean erotic, it's not necessarily sexual in nature, like because the dream might not like it might not have been sexual in nature, but like you could have been like with some really really pretty girls, like, and it was like,
yeah.
and there might have been hints of maybe some sexuality, but actually no sex going on, like, and it was just I want to go back there. It's like,
You get to have sex, man. Not even sleep sex. Not even fucking dream sex, man. Jesus.
Yeah.
What is the world coming to? But yeah, definitely a weird one. This Nicola Bully thing. We'll have to keep an eye on that and see what happens. But I mean, what's next week's going to be? It's going to be something completely different, isn't it? And Nicola Bully will be relegated to sort of being, perhaps in a few months' time, we'll get the post-mortem or the coroner's report or whatever. Somebody suggested in the chat room that it appears to be that they think it's an obvious suicide. I don't know. Use mugwort for lucid dreaming.
Look, it's look. There's no point speculating without an autopsy report. Like, speculation is pointless. It's like us going on about the excess death, like, and a lot of them that I'd be looking at, like, there is no cause of death mentioned. So it's pointless speculating. You can attribute it to whatever you like, but at the end of the day, without an autopsy report, it's just mindless speculation. So it's probably best not to go down that route,
Yeah, of course it is. And anyway, what do coppers know? They just need mediums, and
exactly, yeah, exactly.
I tell you what, you go to. I went a couple of times years ago with an ex-partner of mine. You go to a fucking spiritualist church. There used to be one on a Sunday in Worksop. I think we're a tenner to get in. It'd be fucking packed.
Wow. Tenner.
God's getting fucking nobody for free.
God's getting
wants a bit of your fucking money.
God's earning a fortune.
And these spiritualists, right? They take out their little church hall and our church hall, and they'd be getting a tenner a time, and there'd be 200 people in there. It's not bad going. Not bad going at all.
Yeah.
In fact, if I could learn cold reading, hang on, Jimmy, it's coming to me. It's coming to me. You've been on a long journey today, recently. Have you not?
I know where you're coming from, but like, the money making aspect of the church is not confined to just the spiritualists. Like, you go to any Christian church, and halfway through the ceremony, the plate comes out and it gets passed around, and it just be interesting to see the plate getting passed around, because probably nobody wants to give to the plate, but at the end of the day, they're all looking at each other. People are throwing fivers and tenors in, and says, "Oh shit, I better put something in here, or I'm going to look like a cultist." It's all this peer pressure, and the church is making a fucking fortune out of this shit, and God is a rich bastard. He's an oligarch. sorry for Christians here, but I do have some peculiar ideas about Christianity and religion in general. It's not just about Christianity. And you know what? When it comes to pagans, give me a good, honest Christian any day of the week before a bloody pagan. I swear to God. The only mistake the Christians made was not burning all the pagans at the stake. I've just come to that conclusion because they're nutcases.
There you go. You heard it first on Raconteurs News. All pagans to be burnt at the stake after Jimmy becomes Prime Minister in what's it in Ireland? The what?
I'll be on Taoiseach. I'll be the Taoiseach of the country. Holy God, be Jesus, we've got to deal with these bloody pagans. Be Jesus.
Live televised public executions, burnings at the stake, presented by Dickie Davis, rest in peace, who died this week. Do you know something? I think somebody had Dickie Davis. And I know he wouldn't have been eligible, but I think somebody did have him at some point, you know. Dickie Davis.
Dickie Davis, he rings the bell from way back.
Looked like a raccoon with his hair, like he had black hair and a fucking silver streak in it.
I remember him. I do remember him. It's like it's coming back to me now slowly. Like, but yeah, I do remember him. Like quite a distinguished-looking gentleman, if I remember correctly.
Yes. No, he's not in. He's not in this one. He were in one definitely, but it wasn't that Dickie Davis. It was a different Dickie Davis.
Okay.
There's a younger one as well. But yeah, unfortunately,
it's like in Ireland, like everybody's called John Smith.
What job as well? Some interesting ones on there. Anyway, yes, still nobody's won that T-shirt. It's down here somewhere, packed and ready to go. It just needs an address putting on it. And go on. But yeah, a death cult. We're not a death cult, are we? Because everybody on our death list fucking lives.
Oh, man, look at that. We've got 33 on Raconteurs News. My view. Holy shit! What's wrong? What's wrong with our viewership, man? There's something satanic about the whole lot of them. I know there's a few Christians, but I'm starting to wonder.
We got one on Twitch and 34 on Raconteurs News. Yeah.
Oh, you got 34 at your end.
Yeah, I got 34. Yeah, one on Raconteurs News. Now 33 on YouTube. So
yeah.
It's because we're satanic, and you know, it's a wonder I'm not dressed up as fucking Sam Smith with flames and that. In fact, let's see if we can find some flames. Won't be that now. Let's not bother doing that. But you know,
I tell you what, come Halloween, we might do it for the crack.
Yes, we should. Halloween, we'll get dressed up.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't know if you got to catch up with the show I done on Friday, but did you know that we've reached our quota for streaming on Rumble?
I didn't, but I did notice it today because I did go on Rumble today. I've not done anything really, but I've been on Rumble today to have a look, and I know we've got our quota, but I just didn't have enough time to set it up and to work out how to set it up. So it will be on Rumble on Friday. So anybody who's subscribed to us on Rumble, you can tell us if you can watch us on Rumble, tell us what it's like, whether it's any good. If there's a chat room there, I'm sure there is. Is there a chat room?
There is a chat room. Yeah. Rumble is really, really good. Now it's just you would not know the difference between Rumble and YouTube, apart from a few little cosmetic things that are slightly different, but they are really up in their game there. They've improved the site an awful lot over the last month or two. So it's getting really snazzy there, and they're really up in their game. So it's got a great chat area. I'm not sure if it's got all the same features as in YouTube, where you can tag each other. You know, the way you can tag people and when you're responding. I'm not sure if you can do that on it, but it's got a good chat box, and plus there's loads you can do super chats as well on it, and not that we give a fuck about that, but anyway, but if it's got all the features that YouTube has, and pretty cool.
Well, the reviews of Friday shows are coming in anyway. Friday's show's coming in.
I'm surprised.
It's Happy Friday show.
I thought I would have fucking caused all those cunts to commit suicide.
Don't put me in a coma. You weren't watching cookie, you know.
Oh yeah. They think I'm bad, right? I'm Doctor Doom of Raconteurs, according to the chat. Like, there was a great post by Tony there last week, so I broke out in laughter like after he posted it. He says like, there's there's 20, or he said like there's X amount on the chat at the moment, and 27 of them committed suicide last week during the show and forgot to log out. And I broke out into fucking laughter. It was like the funniest post I'd seen in a very long time. Tony's a right cunt.
He's cutting, very cutting.
Oh man, yeah.
By the way, Tony, I need you to put Eunice's face on one of them, an image of one of them balloons, you know, them big fucking balloons that they've been shooting down in America. I need you to put like one of them flying, and we'll see if we can find Uni using it. We'll call it the Uni balloon. The Uni balloon. Where are you, Uni? I've got my suspicions. I don't know whether this might be Uni. I don't know why. But I think that, I don't know if that is him. If you're not, I'd fucking say now, because you don't want to be fucking accused of fucking being Unity too much. Up there in Washington. The Jews have got him. Yeah.
And quite rightly so, you know. Oh, poor Uni. He gets a lot of slack, doesn't he?
Yeah, but you know, he must be as famous in this country as James Corden is in America. You know, fucking hell, that's a score, isn't it?
What? Holy shit! What's happened to Liverpool? I thought they were good.
They lost Sadio Mane, didn't they? Sold Sadio Mane, and he was.
Are you serious? Yeah. Oh wow.
So that's what's happened to them. There's no fucking great big. We need Eunice's head on. Anyone seen Hitler clip? Yes, and yeah, we do. I've got our car. I don't know how to do that though. Have you guys seen Hitler?
I could probably figure it out, but I wouldn't. Video is not my thing, man. You know, it's just I could do basic graphics, like, but I think Tony is the man. Tony's the man that can make that shit happen. James
who? We need Eunice's head on. Anyone seen Hitler clip? James Mane to where? Is Mane away? Mane went. He went to Real Madrid. Not Real Madrid. Bayern Munich. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Salah. No, Salah's still there, but he's not nowhere near as good without Mane. And that's been shown. And what a fucking humble bloke Mane is as well. Right,
there was an article that came out there just after Christmas, and Salah got an awful lot of flack from the Islamic community over his posing with his family in front of the Christmas tree and celebrating Christmas. And I just thought, bloody hell, how petty. You know, it's like the amount of grief he got over it, like, was just ridiculous, man. It was just ridiculous. Just think, holy shit, man.
Yeah, mostly from Christians, probably, or fucking white people.
No, I think it was from the Islamic community he got the grief from. It's like, you know, so what? Let him do his fucking thing. You know, it's like, you know, if he wants to sort of like follow a Christian festival, let him at it, man. You know, it's like big deal.
Yeah.
Big.
Well, I knew a girl who were a cleaner who worked at Prince Nazim Hamed's house, and actually it was his mother's house, because he lived with his mother still. He lived with his mum, and all his family lived in his house, his crappy fuck off house. And there were a picture of Nazim Hamed and his brother somewhere in Yemen, I think, or somewhere, with guns and in all gear, like, you know, and I says to her, get a photo of it. But it was in time before fucking camera phones were about. I mean, you probably have to sign a fucking NDA now, wouldn't you, to be a fucking cleaner somewhere with everything that's surveillance equipment that you can carry about legally, and that you're expected to have on you. So, yeah, there you go. When's Graham Potter going to get fired? Never, hopefully. He's
Who
a good
the fuck is
man.
Graham Potter? Who's Graham Potter?
He's Chelsea manager. Good man. Good player. Good,
Right.
manager. Made it all the way up from the Isthmian League, which is like 9th tier of British football. Went abroad and coached and come back, and he's done. He's a good manager. He's a good manager. I always liked him. I always rated him. In fact, in 2012, when we sacked, or 2013, whenever it were, when we sacked Dave Jones, I did put up forward on a forum an argument for bringing him in, because he'd been over. It took a 4th division team in Sweden to cup final, and won cup or something daft, and yeah. But the problem is he came to this country, and then he goes and plays manages 2 of the teams that I really hate. I hate Brighton. Everybody hates Brighton. You hate Brighton, aren't you?
I think the worst place in Brighton is Brighton Beach. I hate it.
The worst place in Brighton is Brighton. As soon as you get anywhere near, you're in the worst place. So it's Brighton and Chelsea. I mean, and Chelsea. We've got a specific song that says, "We will follow the Wednesday over land and sea and Chelsea," because we hate them that much. Right.
I've lost track of football completely. Ever since all this nonsense of taking the knee came in, I just go away. That's it. Yeah. I'm going to park you right there. I'll rejoin the crew when you stop all the nonsense, and I've stuck to that, and I won't. I used to be a big Liverpool follower, a big fan of Liverpool, and sorry. Go away when a bit of sanity is restored to this game. I'll return, and
it's never going to be restored. It's going to have to be a new game. It's gone. It's now. We've got clubs owned by nation states. So essentially, what nation states are doing, what we're doing, is if there was some sort of a plan for peace and all that, is that these nation states are buying British clubs, and then they can have the wars that way. They can play football against each other. And then whoever wins, we win a bit of your land. Yeah, baby. That'll be a derby. That's a better way to sort shit out, isn't it? Who's got best footballers? It's certainly better than fucking slaughtering everybody and then deciding, well, you've got less slaughtered people than us. So you win.
There is that. I was reading a crazy article there earlier on, coming out, and there's released plans for the Polish government to evacuate Poland in the event of a war with Russia, which is just coming to the surface. So I'm taking it as they're ready. As you probably know, that they've mobilized about 200,000 soldiers, I think, or something like that, and they're getting ready. I think this little war of theirs is just going to start to escalate a little bit further very, very shortly. You got Britain sending in very, very long-range missiles into Ukraine at the moment. This is not going to end in Ukraine. Whatever's in the works here is just about to escalate, I think, just a little bit further. So we'll just be keeping an eye on that. And there's not much to report going on in Ukraine. It's it seems to be fairly stable.
Well,
have
you seen Putin's speech today?
I didn't even I was away all day, Jay. I'm kind of I'm going to have that I'm going to be searching that out now. If you have a link to it, I'd love to hear it, because I was in court all day. So I was looking out for that,
I just want to pull this up, because, when we're always looking at different things, when we're all looking at one thing, there's something they want you to be looking away from it. And they from what I can understand, it's quite an interesting speech that Putin made today, talking about the West and how we've devalued families and got rid of, we're sexualizing children and we're making paedophilia normal. That sort of, all these sorts of things. We're making a lot of sense to anybody that's got any sort of brain that's not, England, sort of fucking shit on it. But there's this one. Let me. I'll just share this one. Like I say, if you when you want to have a look, if you want to have a look at what they don't want you to look at, you look at BBC Pigeon, don't you? Of course you do.
Right.
BBC Pigeon. Let me present BBC Pigeon for you. There we go.
We don't do this enough.
We don't, but there you go. Look at that. That's a good headline. Putin announced, say Russia go suspend participation in arms control treaty. So he's going to suspend participation in an arms control treaty, which means he's wanting those arms to be able to use, I would imagine, or that's the implication anyway, in this part of the fake movie, the war, whatever you want to call it. Putin don't announce, say Russia, they suspend their participation for New START, one strategic arms reduction treaty between the US and Russia. So it's a strategic arms reduction treaty between the US and Russia, and he's suspending it. This day come one day after US President Joe Biden bin wanker, is that wanker? Wacker. Bin Wacker for Kiev. I don't know how you're supposed to say it anymore, but I'm going to say Kiev, which is what it fucking is. I've had enough chicken Kievs to know that fucking it's Kiev. And promise, say he go stand with Ukraine as long as he go take. As long as he's got fucking left, I imagine. You don't look very long. Did you see him fall down steps as well?
Ah, man, did you see that? Holy shit. What a fucking... I have a video of it. I will show it in a minute.
Yeah, you'll show that in a minute. It's fucking brilliant. Day forced to announce today, say Russia, they suspend the participation for the day strategic offensive arms treaty, Putin talk. So there you go. There's something. I wonder if that's on the British version. Let's look at BBC News. Let's see if I can find BBC News. Fuck off. BBC News. BBC News. I bet they're not saying that. Are they?
I would say they are, like, because it's fairly well known now, and you know what, that arms treaty has been because of the fact that there doesn't appear to be, on the surface, there doesn't appear to be any communication between Russia and America. But I don't believe that for 1 second. There's always back channels, but basically what's going on at the moment is America they've started to open up new nuclear tests, and Russia are doing nuclear tests. And I was thinking to myself today, hold on. I thought you tested all this shit like way back years ago, so you know it works now. So what are you doing nuclear tests now for? But did it suddenly you're not sure that it still works or something? And I know there's loads of people who don't believe in nuclear bombs, but I'm not here to convince anybody about anything. But still, though, any treaties that were in effect are now more or less null and void, because on the surface there doesn't appear to be any communication between Russia and the West. But I would urge people to think very carefully about that, because there's no way that there's no communication between Russia and the West.
No, they're fucking doing it on purpose. Look at this shit.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Have a look at this shit here that they're fucking writing. This is BBC fact-checking. This is a fact-check of fucking Putin's speech, right? First of all, here we go. The neo-Nazi regime, right? All this bollocks here. And then it said, it should be, I don't even know why this has got any relevance whatsoever. But it
I'm
should
not
be
seeing it
noted
there,
that-
Jay. By the way, are you showing something here?
Yeah, can you not see it?
I can't. Holy shit. I can
Oh,
see.
yeah,
I could.
actually, I might be on. Hang on. I'll share it. Hang on. I'm sharing the wrong fucking thing.
Yeah, no worries, man. No worries. I thought it was going mad there for a second.
There we go. That's it. No, that's not it.
Putin announced, say Russia go suspend participation.
one.
Did
Did I show you that?
Yeah, that's the pigeon one, isn't it?
Right.
That's pigeon news.
This one then. Can you see this? No, right. I'll share this then. Right. Fucking hell. These buttons confuse me more and more, and they keep adding more fucking shit to them.
I find it very awkward. I find it very awkward myself in StreamYard. That looks yeah, that's now we see it. Yeah.
So the Ukraine war, President Putin's speech fact checked 3 hours ago. No fucking name. Is there a name on this? No. No name. So an unnamed individual by reality check team. The fuck?
Whoever the fuck they are.
It's like fucking saying weather service, isn't it?
I know. Yeah.
Here we go. It should also be noted that President Volodymyr Zelensky is Jewish, and members of his family died in the Holocaust. What's that got to do with anything? Anything apart from they're being called neo-Nazis. Well, you can't be a neo-Nazi because it's like saying I'm not a racist. I used to have a black dog. You know what I mean? It's just you know what I mean. It's the same logic.
Yeah.
I've got people died in that. Like when that copper were in here that fucking time when I was videoing him and he were fucking going on. I called him a Nazi and he said, "Oh, no," and he got really offended because he'd worked in Germany. He'd worked in Germany. What the fucking hell has that got to do with him being offended about me calling him a Nazi? He works in Germany. He worked in Germany. That means there's fucking more chance that he were. Dickhead. People just use this. This emotion. It's emotional. You made an emotional point there. He's Jewish. How is he going to do that? He's not going to do that. He's not going to line up with Nazis.
Yeah, it's like saying that there were no Jewish people in the in the Nazi SS, and
yeah, they were, weren't they? Exactly.
They were. Yes, they were. They weaponized their own fucking people, man.
I can't even read. I can't even read anymore.
We probably shouldn't even be talking about this, Jay, or we'll get fucking nuked on this channel.
It'll make me spew up. It is fucking really fucking reality check team. Jesus Christ, you ought to have a fucking reality check. Yeah, I tell you what, come and live on one of fucking houses on one of these states around here where you've got all fucking money. That'll be a reality check, not fucking sitting there in your BBC thing with your fucking degree from your fucking, from when you got, because this is the job that you got, because your mum and dad scraped just enough money together to send you to boarding school. And when you were at boarding school, you were getting nonced by fucking BBCs there. And this is your fucking reward. Your job is, you're a fact checker. I'm going to be a fact checker at the BBC. No, you were fucking nonced in boarding school, and now you've been forced into this because you thought you were getting more than that for being nonced. But now you know that you don't need fucking TV stars because it's AI anyway.
And you don't even have to put a name to an article anymore. It's like it's all not. It might as well be written by bloody AI, and AI is not what fucking people think. It's like
it probably is written by AI.
Yeah.
In fact, there's machines you can check it. You can go through, put it through a checker. It'll check whether it's AI. It'll give you a percentile of whether it's AI or not.
And the AI is only as clever. People think AI is some advanced piece of technology.
Fucking dog shit.
It's a load of rubbish, man. It's like it's programmed by humans. It's got all the human flaws, only it's much more stupid. Like, so you're limited. It's limited by the abilities of its programmers, and these programmers, they're brain dead. They're absolutely
But
brain dead.
that's the thing, though, Jimmy, is that AI will be sold as this fucking thing that just knows that you can ask any question into it, and it don't matter for the most part. For most questions that people are going to be asking, like, is there a decent recipe for fucking
Making a bomb.
no, don't fucking hell, don't say bomb, Jesus. Shit, I've said it now. Fucking both got to stop saying bomb. Anyway. Is there a recipe for making, a fucking apple pie, and a traditional American apple pie? And it'll come up with one. It'll come up with a number, probably. A load of them. And, you'll be able to ask it a question about science, something that's in your textbook, and it'll read back what's in your textbook. But, yeah, it's not going, it's only, it's limit. It's like an actual person. The limit of that person's scope is based on what goes into it. So if that person doesn't educate themselves, because they're not going to get, no one else is going to educate you. You've got to educate yourself. That person don't educate themselves, they're not going to get an education, and they're going to end up like a fucking drone, like most people do. And this is what it is. It's just AI. They're just replacing it. And there will be people who'll say, there'll be the thing, hey, now them fat cunt fucking laid in your bed, eating too many fucking McDonald's and can't move. Gonna need to take window out and get fire brigade when you D in your bed, inevitably.
And a fork truck to pull you out.
Here's something for you. We can make you a fucking member of society. We'll get you this artificial intelligence thing, and a face thing, and you can do a job. You can sort these things out. These that would, they'll fucking do that. And this is how we get into. Then we just do it from birth. We stick a fucking AI thing straight on face.
The danger, I think, with this AI system that they are intended to bring in is like the AI that you're going to be talking to will just give you one. I know you said like they'll give you a couple of. No, they will give you one response. This is the answer you're looking for. Only one, and that's it. And you read it, it'll probably be about 1, 2, maybe 3 paragraphs in length, and that's it. And that's the truth, according to the that's the truth.
It, then, yeah. And then everybody will become right. Ask AI, and they'll ask it, and it's well, there you go. I'll give you an example, right? Quite a long time ago, when I was still quite keen, to tell people, my God, do you know what's going on? Fuck yeah! Back when I was like that, there was there were a gentleman that I know, an older man, in fact a lot older man. He's still around. He's a nice old bloke, a lovely bloke. And he got talking, and I did one of the mistakes. I got talking to somebody about the war, or about what had happened, what had happened in the war, who'd been there, and I've not been there. So I'm who the fuck am I? I shouldn't be talking to him about that. I should be asking him, shouldn't I? If I wanted to know, asking him questions, not trying to say what I thought and this, that, and other. And anyway, we sort of got to this point where I'd said something and he disagreed, and we just left it at that. And then a couple of weeks later, I saw him again. And he says to me, he says, I was right about that. He says, I Googled it when I got home. So there you go. He took that as the gospel, Google, because that's what it's not what he's been taught to do out through his life, but this is a new thing. This is the new, exciting thing. He could find anything out. So he Googled it, and he used it. He Googled it, and I didn't argue with him because I just thought I thought, what a twat I were for, even I'm thinking I should know anything at all, fucking anywhere like he knew. But that's what it's going to be like. It's going to get to the point where people are just going to AI it or Bing it. It'll be Bing, won't it? Or Ask Jeeves. Is that about still? Ask Jeeves. Should we ask Jeeves? Well, that would be good coming back, wouldn't it? If you could get that voice activated, ask Jeeves and get it in a robot. You get a robot bit built. Good idea. Anybody wants to develop this and somebody to back it up financially? You get like a robot that like can bring you shit and that, and then you call it Jeeves, and then you load it with AR. But ask Jeeves. You've reinvented it. Jeeves, come here. Yes. What is 4T?
To hell with Alexa. To hell with Alexa. She's a nobody now.
Yeah, taking a piss as well. Yeah, exactly. Everything's going to be down to this is that. All the answers are formulated, tick box things, putting little circles in squares to correspond with whatever they want you to fucking believe, and you'll believe it. People will believe it, and it's the way we're going. Oh, I think the best thing for us to do. The best thing for us to do is not to try to save all them, because we've been trying for that for 14 years. It's not happened.
Pointless, yeah.
I think the point of us is to ways to save ourselves, to help ourselves. Forget about everyone else. If you find a thing, I don't know, if you find a little fucking side route or whatever, don't go telling fucking them, because they'll never believe you. You know what I mean? Don't tell them, but tell people who are on your wavelength. Don't bother with them. Don't bother with them. If they don't know by now, they're never going to know. They just aren't going to know, and it's not no against them.
The trick is, I think the trick is to learn how to spot the people who are on our wavelength, and that's going to be key. But I think this is going to become apparent, like as we move forward, because I'm learning all the time more and more people who are on my wavelength, who may not have been as obvious beforehand, but to be able to find out who they are, you have to actually engage, actually enter into a conversation. And it seems to me like the whole plan so far has been to isolate people, push them further away from each other so that they don't have these conversations. So that we have to do the opposite, which is to actually engage. I think Brendan O'Connell is right. The last thing we need to do is to just disengage because it's all gone. It seems all hopeless. He said, no. Now is the time to engage. And
engage is fine, but chasing these fucking trying to turn people
to wake people up, waste of time.
Complete
waste of time. Yeah. I have no time or energy anymore for anybody who's not on my wavelength, and to be honest, I'm starting to find it easier to find people who are on my wavelength, because they seem to be on a different wavelength, and I think I'm able to tune into them now. It's taken me a bit of time to figure this shit out, man, because I'm a bit slow. I'm a paddy, right? And but I do feel that I'm sort of tuning into a kind of a wavelength right now, and I'm starting to find people, and I don't get to meet many people during the course of the week. I meet so few people you wouldn't believe it, but when I do go out, I'm always surprised by the amount of people. The people that I do engage with who are actually on my wavelength. That's why I don't believe any of the numbers that are being quoted by government of people who have sort of adopted their policy of treatment or anything else. Everybody that I speak to, and if I take the demographic of the people that I speak to regularly, which is quite small, and a large portion of them are well tuned in, that leads me to believe that all these fucking polls, all these numbers, all this bullshit coming from government and blah 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 about how many people are compliant with ex-wife. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit because that doesn't match the reality that's going on in my life, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think we've done 2 hours, mate. So we're on a.
And last week, did you know it's the last show? I managed to get it in. I just managed to disconnect at 2 hours, colon 00:00. Right on the button, man.
Nobody watches on Odyssey anyway, so it don't fucking matter really.
No.
Anyway, we'll be back Friday. Hopefully I'll be all right still.
You're fine, man. You're in good form, man. You're in good form tonight, I have to say. Good to have you back.
Still a bit tired, but let me just tell you, right? If you want irony, and my life is it, right? Now, you remember me telling you the story about the people that knocked on my door, sent me dog mad, and they fucking made me knock my knuckle off, and fucking that's what it did. Yeah. Well, here's irony for you. I thought to myself, I'm going to get one of them doorbells that's got a camera on it, and then you can talk to people, right? So then I can just fuck off and turn it off, all right? So I order one, and I'm sat. It's the day it's coming, and it's the morning. And usually, if I order on Amazon, if I order something from Amazon, it comes when bill's on. Usually, that's how I know. That's the only really time how I know what time it is, because the bill's usually on. So I'm in plenty of time. It's 9:30. So I go upstairs. This is the irony of it all as well. Also, I wanted a ring doorbell because I'm often upstairs here in this this studio office, me man cave, whatever you want to call it. And if someone knocks on the door, it takes me ages to get downstairs. And then people have often gone, they've wasted me time, and then I end up rolling down the street after them, shouting and calling them cunts and that. So I thought it'd just be easiest. Anyway, I ordered one. Here's irony. 9:30 that day, I comes downstairs, I has my first cup of coffee, which usually sets me into arse labour, and it did that day as well. So I come upstairs out of me thing, through me into bog, and I'm sitting there and I'm having a shit, right? And I've got my phone and I'm scrolling through Twitter or some fucking shit. And I thought, oh, me doorbell's coming today. I'll have a look, see if it's been dispatched. So I went on Amazon app, and yeah, it's been dispatched. It's on its way. It's 2 fucking stops away. I thought, oh my fucking God. And I'm in the middle of a fucking proper sticky shit. One of them, you remember that fucking dark fucking golden syrup that were like treacly dark fucking black stuff? It was one of them shits.
You're talking about dark matter here, aren't you?
I am, and I'm having a fucking shit, and I'm thinking, oh my God, it's 2 stops away, and I've got to get that. I've got to wipe my ass. I've got to get downstairs. I'm not even finished my shit. Then suddenly, I'm not going to knock on desk because dog old man. Boop, 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 fucking knock on door. Oh my God. So I had to I'm like fucking, I'm not even wiping because there's so much, like, it's going to take for ages. So what I'm doing is I'm covering it up. You know, like you would if there were a spill and they'd cover it up in stuff. Noxious fluid spill. And I've got loads of toilet paper and I'm just covering the arse up, just like making sure it won't. And I pulled my short up onto my fucking chair, and I scooted through to the bedroom, and I leant through the window, and he was just fucking leaving. And he went, I said, sorry, mate. I said, I'm a cripple. I can't fucking get our own fucking shitter. I said, just leave it down there, and I'll be down in a minute. Just leave it down on doorstep. We'll be right. And he says, are you sure? He says, I'll wait if you... I says, now, because I've got to clean myself up. I said, now, you just leave it here, mate. I said the ironic thing is it's a Ring doorbell, and we could have had this conversation while I was, still having a shit. But anyway, there you go. There's irony for you. There's
That's
something
mad.
to
What a
warm
story.
you, to warm the cockles of your heart on a
Honest
Tuesday
to God.
evening. Oh, fucking nightmare. They never come that early. Never. Ever come that early. And then, oh dear, it won't happen again though.
No.
But it's happened. It knew it weren't going to happen again. So it's fucking happened, didn't it? It had to happen then. And it did. Just to get it out of the way. Anyway. Oh,
Look who's come for a visit.
Oh, look who it is. What's it called, that cat?
A cunt. A whore. That's Bella. When I first got him, right? When I first got him, I thought he was a female, but he turned out to be a dude. He turned out to be a dude in the end, and he's lovable. He's lovable.
Hades had a few like that.
They're very hard to sex when they're small,
Yeah, do you know what? I was watching. I was flicking through telly this morning, and on ITV, I don't watch live TV. You understand? On ITV, and this they were a phoning obviously on This Morning with on fucking floppy Phil or whatever. And all I saw was a thing along the bottom which said, and the question was, why does my husband keep going to Thailand?
Oh God. I might have a response. I might have an idea, but I'm not going to say it in public.
Why does my husband keep going to Thailand? Well, love, if you need to fucking phone in ITV to find out, and it's a shame Jeremy Kyle show's not on, because you could have sorted it out there, couldn't you?
Try Google it. Maybe Google it.
Oh dear. Listen, are we going to put a link in tonight? Because I'm going downstairs. You know what happens? I'll tell you what happens when I go downstairs. That little thing that I use downstairs, it's fucking shocking, and it just keeps it gets raped. So I'm going to put it on something different. But if I would want to do after show tonight.
Throw it in, man. But I have to be up for work in the morning, so I can't promise I'm going to stay that long, But people will chat among each other if they want to. There's no harm. Like, let people, throw it in, man. Why not? No harm. People don't have to join if they don't want to. It's up to themselves. So, but I do have an early start in the morning. I best be on the ball in the morning. Yes.
Well, I'm going to. I don't know. Oh, I've got my fucking iron ore blood test in the morning, so I've got to be iron. Anyway, so if you want to jump in after show, we'll be in for a bit. I'm going to put it on my iPad, I think, and then do it downstairs, because that pile of shit downstairs, I've got to do it downstairs because my wife's next door asleep.
Yeah, your connection is a bit like choppy downstairs.
Yeah, it's the fucking thing I'm using. So I'll put it on the iPad. That should hold it better. But anyway, that's Tuesday's show. Thanks everybody for joining us. Thanks to people in the chat room and who've not been in the chat room as well. You've been contributing with your ears, using your ears. That's a great way to. No, it is. You give me someone to talk to, and that's always good because.
Sorry I was late, Jay. Sorry I was late, man. My brain fart.
I'll take it out of your wages. Don't worry.
Cool. It's okay. I'm a rich bastard. I don't need your money.
Right, we'll be on Friday. Take it easy, everyone.